Hi, Rebecca and Ada. It's Grandpa here with another session of Bird Feeder Birds. And we have a little downy woodpecker this afternoon who's looking after getting some more peanuts. Oh boy, he's really going at it. Did you know that woodpeckers have a special trait? What they do in order to keep from getting a really bad headache when they're banging their heads against their beaks against the peanuts, their tongue actually goes all the way up inside and wraps around their brain to keep it cushioned so that they don't get those headaches like you and I would get if we pounded our head like that. And oh, we're going to get a new special. We got a hairy woodpecker. Oh, and then it's switched over. We got a new one here now. It's a red-winged blackbird. And look at that. Do you see the red on top of its wing? There's a white and yellow stripe and then a red flash at the top, and because of that it's called a red-winged blackbird. Red-winged blackbirds live normally in swamps and marshy areas and we have one at a park that's not too far away from us. And this guy's coming over to steal some of our peanuts and our feed and that. Normally they come in to eat the insects that are in the marsh and that, but it's been a little cold this year. So he's just coming over for a little bit extra, I guess, from us here on the bird feeder. And now we have the goldfinch again. You guys remember the goldfinch from the other day. And beside the goldfinch this time, what we have is a female housefinch. You'll see in a few minutes here, in a few seconds actually, that the male finch, the partner to this female house finch that's in the beige and brown on the left-hand side, I thought the other day that it was a purple finch. But after looking in my book on birds, I believe that this is actually a house finch. Even though it looks very similar, it doesn't have as much of that raspberry coloring all the way down its breast and its back. And so this is a house finch. And the reason I suspect that it's more of a house finch, oh look, they're not very friendly with the goldfinch there now, are they? Is because the female is clearly a female house finch. They're very similar to the females of the others, but you can actually tell it doesn't have some of the striking similarities. And oh, just watch what they're going to do to the little goldfinch here right now. They're going to have a little fight. Oh, look at that. They took off. And oh, we're back to the little tree sparrow. Remember the other day I said that it was a house sparrow. Well, you know what? It's not really a house sparrow. The official name for it is it's called a tree sparrow. They're quite common in the city, and I'm sure that you've seen them out on the sidewalks and in the parks over at your place as well. And here we have another little guest. This is called a nuthatch. And look at the way he hangs on to the bird feeder. He's upside down. That's the way they feed. On insects, on all kinds of insects, as well as seeds and that. Oh, and now we've switched over. It's another squirrel. But they call this a red squirrel. Look at the color of its reddish brown tail. And the fur is also a little bit reddish as well too. These guys are quite a bit smaller. They're half the size of the gray squirrels and the black squirrels that we saw earlier in one of the other videos. But they like their peanuts and seeds and that as well too. And they come underneath the bird feeder, and as you can see, they're trying to get as much of those little bits of bird feed that they can. And last but not least, we have the American robin. He's got that nice bright red breast, and that's usually the first harbinger of spring when these little guys show up. And they usually dig around in your lawns for little worms and slugs and bugs that are stuck in the grass and that. But this has been a pretty cool spring in that as well too. So I think that he's taking advantage to get some of the leftover seeds in that we have on the ground here. I never see them going up on top.